privacy, I'll keep it hush, hush. I'll stay down low for you. I like when it's just you and me, I'll keep it hush, 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 baby. I know you love it.
Hey guys, it's Courtney.
And Lex.
And you're listening to The Pleasure's All Yours. We are here to encourage sexual liberation in the Black and queer community. This is a space where queer folks can learn, laugh, spill some motherfucking tea, and just discuss how really the pleasure is
all yours.
It's all yours, baby.
Yes.
Hey, Lex.
Hey, Court.
How you doing?
You know, sweaty, tired.
Ooh, sounds like you just had a sexy session.
I was moving.
Oh. Lots of strenuous activity.
I was literally mopping a empty apartment. I was like doing it my grandma's way, where like you have a lot of floor to mop, so you just throw the mop water on the floor, move it around with the brush, with the broom, and then mop it with the squeezed out mop.
You move the water around with the broom?
With the broom.
Doesn't that make the water dirty?
The floor's already dirty. And
I guess that's
get
true.
the water up with the mop.
Huh. Okay. I've never tried that.
Yeah.
I'll have to
it's just when it's a big empty floor.
I mean, you know, Black women, especially old Black women, they know how to motherfucking clean a house.
And I will tell you that, like, as I was like sweeping the water around, things that I usually be scrubbing the mop with, it was just coming up.
Okay.
Because the broom is like bristles, so it's sort of like scrubby. And literally, when I was mopping the water up, you could just see all the dirt.
How do you get the water out?
In the mop. You don't put a bunch of water. Just like a nice glob of water.
Okay.
For the floor to be kind of wet, but not like drenched, you know. I don't know. It's
Got it. No, I just have questions, you know, and I appreciate you.
Tracy, ooh.
Try what?
Yeah.
I don't know. Try this next time.
Try it next time, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that. So you're moving out, or you've moved? Are you completely done now?
I'm completely done now. The apartment's empty. The keys are turned in.
So you're in your new spot.
I'm in my new spot.
How does that make you feel? It's the start of Aries season, which is the beginning of the astrological new year. Lots of changes, lots of positive new beginnings is what I'd say. So this is the perfect day.
Yeah, it really is. And so it was honestly the perfect day for everything to finish up. It was just really nice. I did the walkthrough and everything. It was really my dream apartment, and I was there for 2 years. And I loved it so much.
It was a great apartment.
It was a great apartment. Amazing amenities. It's beautiful.
And you got it brand new. Like you were one of the first people to move in.
I was literally the second person on property to move in. So it was really nice. Quiet, great location, all of that stuff. But I did move into a house with a friend of mine, with a couple of friends of mine, and they're really cutting me a good deal. I'm paying like way less than what I was paying before just to rent a room in their home, and they have a pool in the backyard.
Oh, love it. They have a very nice setup over there too.
Super nice setup, and it's a really artistic house. Like both of the people,
Art Deco.
Yeah, both of the people are very like chill, very open to parties and things. I literally was like, I told like my oldest roommate is this older white guy, and he is a very interesting man.
I can't wait to learn more about him.
Like I wait till he gets drunk, because he literally will just start like, you're like, who are you? Like,
yeah. He seems like an interesting guy.
Very interesting. Yeah. So, also a lover of women, and will like literally on his hands and knees, like, you guys need a drink? Oh, don't worry about cleaning the kitchen. I got it. Do you need some wine? I'll refill your glass. Don't worry about it. Anybody need any water? You need a snack? Like, he literally was like,
sounds like the perfect setup. Exactly what you need.
Yeah. And he wants me to peg him. So
in-house?
In-house.
Perfect. Love that for you.
I don't know if I'll do it. You know, this is a sticky situation. We live together.
That's true. What if you do it wrong?
I would not do it wrong.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for even insinuating. Have you ever pegged somebody before?
I haven't, but I have done plenty of anal things with women.
Okay.
I've never pegged a man before, though.
I would like to locate the prostate, which is it just 2 inches in, or is it like just the G spot where it's like in and then up?
Just like where the G spot is. No, it's like in, curve up. It's literally like the same thing as your G spot.
Oh, interesting. Your little P spot.
Yeah.
You'll have to let me know how that goes. Let the pod know.
I actually, you know what? When I asked him if I could do it like a while ago, I literally was like, this was when I was really into my OnlyFans, and I was like, I'm gonna have one of my friends record it, but like your face won't be in it. and you were the friend I was talking about.
Okay.
How was your week,
I'm
Court?
scared of bussy. I'm sorry. I thought we were.
You're scared of what?
I'm scared of bussy.
Why?
Bussy?
Why is
Because
that?
it's unknown territory for me. I feel
Okay.
like men do not, historically, men, especially hetero men, do not clean themselves well. I'm scared that, quote unquote, you will be fucking him until the room stinks. That's something I heard on Twitter between the gay community. That is something that I heard from the gay community, is that's something that they do, is fuck until the room stinks. Are you familiar with that term?
I am disgusted.
That's what somebody said about Pedro Pascal the last time I checked.
No.
They want to fuck him until the room stinks.
That's gross. I mean, that's gross. I'm thinking about like pussy smell. I'm thinking about squirt smell. I don't think those are like stinky smells. Like, to me, I'm not like.
They're more like funky smells.
Yeah, but like until it stinks, I don't know. I feel like coochie sex smell is like just like when you sweat too much.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of different coochie smells. There's like condom coochie smell that comes when you fuck a lot, you know. Then there's like you said, like the sweaty. Then there's like the tangy.
I'm okay with tangy and sweaty.
Okay, what are you not okay with? The stanky,
Bitter,
okay,
sour.
That one's an interesting one.
I dated someone. Ooh, I haven't said this to anyone. I dated someone and like I really enjoyed them as a person, but there were certain times where they were not like their body odor was not something I enjoyed.
Their body odor,
their coochie odor.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was like something I didn't always enjoy. So there were times where it was like, how do you say that to someone? You know, like. Especially because it's you know this person showers all the time.
Yeah.
It's literally just like a body chemistry. You know what? Pheromones. I should have known.
Honestly, I
should have fucking known.
There was this time where I smelled my own coochie. And I can't believe I'm sharing this, but I will. I smelled my own coochie while I was fucking, and I like tried to stop. I was like, actually, let's not do this right now, because like obviously something's not right. Maybe I need to shower or something. This nigga said, oh, that I really like the smell. Like I smelled it too, and it really is actually turning me on. It's turning me on more. And like, I was like, okay. It was a long-term relationship.
Pheromones.
Yeah, pheromones. So maybe it was just a good match.
That's what I'm thinking. Cause I'm thinking back to it and I'm like, I would be like, damn, like I would still,
you're such a trooper.
Yeah. But I literally be like, how do I get myself to not think about this right now?
And it is an awkward like conversation to have.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like, again, like, you know, this person showers, you know, this person eats well, all of these things. So it's like, obviously it is literally just, I should have fucking known. You get all these flags and you don't see them because you're looking through rose-colored lenses.
Man, and they're so rose-colored. When do we take them off? That's what I'm so scared of. I just don't want to, I don't want to know that I'm wearing rose-colored. I feel like I'm not wearing rose-colored. I'm wearing like clear frames, but they're not prescription, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe I'm not looking close enough, but I feel like I'm not delusional about my current situation. Yeah. You know? Yeah. That's interesting. I'm going to move on eventually. Yeah. Not now though.
Okay.
Because this brought up a memory for me that happened really recently.
Okay.
I had to talk to my partner because I was feeling really uncomfortable. Like they were wanting to eat me out and I was not having it. And they were like, man, because if you listen to the last few episodes, I had been complaining about that. And so they stepped their game up. They stepped their mouth game up. So now they're like, man, you know, you've been talking all this shit about how I don't eat your pussy. Now I want to eat it all the fucking time and you don't want to let me eat it. And I had to like sit with them and have a conversation about how I feel about my body right now. Because for the last like 8 months, like I've had my IUD since August. But for the last 8 months, like my texture of like my discharge and like my like squirt and my cream, it's just all different. And like I be feeling some type of way about it because I'm not used to it. I was on birth control for 10 years, like the pill for 10 years. And that affects how your body like menstruates and also like what it does to protect itself, like as far as like your discharge and your cervical fluid and all that stuff. So I'm learning what I look like from week to week, like all over again, you know, because if you know, like when you're ovulating, your discharge is like clear and stringy. And then when you're like right before your menses or whatever, you might have like a more white, thicker discharge. And I'm learning all of that. And so it doesn't smell like, it doesn't have like, I don't know what it tastes like. I've not done that. Yeah. But like, I feel like
I was a teenager.
You did like, you're like, what's this
I
shit
wonder
taste
what
like?
that is. Yeah.
After I came, I would do that. Like I would taste that part, but not like just like hanging out. I'm like, let me just try this. Anyway, but so I've had to like internally and like mentally deal with that. And I think it could just be a weird conversation to have. But I loved having the conversation with him because he was like super understanding. He was like, you know what? Totally get that. You know, you take your time, whatever you need, but I'm letting you know that I've never experienced what you're telling me that you think you smell like or you think you taste like. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, cool. You know, it was a very like,
you're like learning your body through a new transition right now.
And it sucks, man, because like I went to school to be in women's health. When I got out of school, I worked at an OBGYN for like 2 years. So I've seen all the pussy. I've had a pussy. I eat pussy. I've seen all the range. I've seen pussy with so many varicose veins. It looks like like a blackberry. Like there are so many black like bumps and like bruised looking thing. Like I've just seen pussy in so many different ways. How is it that I can't get through my head that like pussy changes?
I personally blame society and the patriarchy.
Tell them.
That is really it and men always, just because it's just like a beauty standard. It's just like any other beauty standard. You're literally like trying to figure out, well, this is what I should smell, look, and feel like, and I'm not smelling and looking and feeling like those things. So that is what's making you subconscious. And also, since you're, like you said, since you're so used to your body for the past decade being a certain way, like in 8 months, it's not going to rewire your brain in 8 months. Yeah. So it really is like a learning experience as you go.
Yeah.
And yeah, but you know, I'll be the first to say you're perfect in every way and you do great.
Thank you so much.
And I'm rating everything a 85 out of 10.
Oh, okay. My mind read it as like an 8.5 out of 10.
85.
Okay.
Point after the 5.
85.0 out of 10.
85.2 out of 10.
Thank you so, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, where'd the extra 0.2 come from?
Just your vibes.
Okay, thank you. Really appreciate that. Any extra credit will do.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, guys, we do have an episode today.
Yeah.
And we do have an outline of some sort.
We actually have been chatting quite a bit since I got here.
Like the minute marker right now is on 34 minutes, but as you know, we're probably only like 10 minutes into it.
Actually is edits though.
I feel like I'm going to try to like piece them in, but then at the same time, I got to upload this in a matter of 10 hours. So I will probably be doing the bare minimum.
It's okay.
Maybe it'll be like a good clip thing on Instagram. Anyway. Yay. We always have we don't always have a fun fact.
Hey, lately we've been having a fun fact every motherfucking week.
Hey, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
New year, new bitches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Consistency.
Okay.
Bitch.
Okay.
Yeah.
So today's one of those weeks, bitch. We have a fun fact. And if you haven't seen the title already, we are talking about jealousy this week. So I was trying to find something that had to do with jealousy. And you know, our favorite topic is animals.
Yeah.
And I found this insane fact that bullfinch birds, which are some type of bird that Charles Darwin found back in the day. I don't know what they look like, but somebody can Google it and send it to me.
Bullfinch birds?
Bullfinch birds. Bullfinch birds would rather die than let another male outsing them.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up. During mating season, bird watchers have reported hearing male bullfinches competing for who can sing the most complex and lengthy mating call.
Okay.
Some even die from distress of rupturing a lung in order to out-sing another bird. So, like, one bird is like, yeah, I'm singing Charlene by motherfucking Anthony Hamilton. He's like, nah, I got the point of it all. And I'm going to hit those notes, and I'm going to hold those notes. And then he died.
Damn.
Like, he would just fall out the tree.
I wish men tried that hard. You tried so hard that you die.
Like they tried to flex so hard against the next guy that they just ruptured their blood vessels.
Yeah. Or I just mean try so hard in general. Like try hard enough that you feel like you will die or that you will drop dead.
Believe it or not, we are both, we sometimes have sex with men.
Sometimes. It's sporadic.
It's becoming sporadic.
It's becoming very sporadic. Yeah, it's very sporadic for me, but Court's on a new leaf here, and I do love that for you.
Okay, I hate to bring this up. That's the end of the fun fact. That's the end of the fun fact. But I'm like, I feel really strange because.
How do you want to say it?
Okay, I feel really strange because I have no desire to, like, talk long term to men at all, like at all. Like this nigga that I'm, like, I definitely not talking to because I have not. He sends me texts and I simply react to them. But
give him that thumbs up.
Yeah, like we have plans to link up and, you know, do the thing that we do sometimes on occasion. This will be the second time, I guess. But like that in between stuff of like him trying to talk or like him to take me out, I'm really uninterested. I'm so uninterested. I don't have any desire. I deleted my Black. I deleted my Hinge. I don't fuck with y'all for real. I don't fuck with these niggas right now.
Yeah.
They have done nothing but terrorize.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to bring that up.
I just think it's really funny because, not funny, but I think it's really interesting. And like I said, I've like watching each other grow through things. But I remember like within like the first year that I knew you, we had like a conversation because, you know, of our relationships, and we were like, what our ideal relationship looks like long term and stuff. And I remember Court saying, because we were talking about where we fall on the queer spectrum, because we were talking about families. And I just remember Court being like, I see myself, like, I don't know if I could see myself with a woman long term.
I did.
I see myself marrying a man and having a family and everything like that. But then I remember a few months ago where you're like, my family dynamic, what my family dynamic looks like is changing, and that's like a lot for me to deal with. And you're just doing so good, bitch. I love it.
I don't know how to feel right now. This bitch called me a pansexual the other day, and I was like, pump the brakes, bitch.
She said, I'm not ready for that.
And it's not that like I have anything against pansexual people at all. Like, that's not the case. It's just
now you have to question other things.
Yeah, like I don't feel like reading into it that much.
But I only said that because of your current your current parent.
And I'm when I tell you I love it, I don't want it to become a thing for me. Like, you know, like I don't want to feel like I'm fetishizing anything, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not. I just like really love like
everything that's happening.
The unification of what this person brings to the table. It's the communication and the calmness. And I want to tell you how much I believe in this. I told my fucking mom. I was like, Mom, I have to let you know, because I'm just like so amazed. I'm like, how can this person have like the best qualities of what is considered to be like a masculine energy? I like a nigga that wants to be of service.
Yeah.
I think that's the best kind of man.
Yeah.
And I think that's what makes a man true, like truly, not just service to me, but like service to the community, service to himself, service to his family.
Yeah.
That's what I get from them, is like somebody that wants to be of service, that wants to be helpful. But I also get like the ease of like communication and like the emotional understanding from this person that like comes from the more feminine side, and like the ability to really think through things and process them before reacting. I love it. It's like the yin and yang, which is their favorite sign. And I love that because I really think they embody it. They have it like tattooed on them. Yin and yang. Like that's what I want as well. Like for myself is for me to have both like the masculine and the feminine energy to combine into such a.
But it takes having those conversations that you're like, it takes having those. It takes questioning sexuality and gender and preferences. Like, all of that. It takes literally questioning every single thing that makes you who you are. It takes questioning and deconstructing all of it to like get to that point, because even going forward, you still always have what you had in the past. So it's like, I feel like part of the yin yang is like future and past, like sort of coming together and like really mixing and making a person. So yeah,
absolutely.
It just takes a while. Some people are more yin than yang, and some people are somewhere a good mix of both, and sometimes people just are nowhere near either one, you know? So, but I think you're doing really good. Whenever I think about like where you're at in your life, I think about like when you put a bunch of colors in and you start to mix them up, but you can still see the strings of lines of the
Oh,
other
yeah.
colors.
I used to do that all the time.
And then at some point, it's all blended together. You just some unblended paint, babe. You're doing great.
Thanks, boo. So yeah, we're talking. So for our pleasure principle, if you didn't look at the title, we're talking about jealousy today. And of course, because we are a pleasure focused podcast, I will be talking about it from more of a romantic lens. Yeah. However, it's very obvious that like we can have a bunch of different types of jealousy, whether it's jealousy of your friends or jealousy of like a profession or, you know, a career or something else, you know? So jealousy occurs when a person feels threatened by the perceived value of someone or something to another person. This again is specifically in more like relationships. Jealousy can mean a lot of things. And there's a bunch of different types of jealousy, which I actually didn't really know about until I got in. They all make a lot of sense. Like the title is very self-explanatory.
I feel like you're about to make I'm about to be introspective for the rest of the night after this.
Perfect.
Because we're doing this episode because of how Lex has been feeling.
And I can't wait to dive into that. Okay. Also, but feel free to jump in at any point in order to do that. Okay. All right, cool. Great. So there's a bunch of different types of jealousy. I found some really good resources, but this one is from Science Direct, a research study that was done in 2012. So there's reactive jealousy, which occurs at the awareness of an actual threat to the relationship. So this is like an IG comment or a DM. It's like new friends that might come in the picture and you're like, okay, your partner, you know, new friends for your partner. And you're like, okay, who are these people? What are they like? What are they influencing my partner to do? Or changes in behavior. Like all of a sudden your partner starts coming home later, or they're not texting you like good morning like they used to, like that kind of thing. That's reactive jealousy. It's like in response to something. But then there's suspicious jealousy, which occurs without any indication of a threat, and that's like possessiveness and like delusionalness. I don't fucking know another word to describe that.
It's like your partner's not doing anything, but you're constantly thinking and accusing them of doing something.
Yeah, like it comes more from like a control point than anything. And then there's sexual jealousy, which is mostly experienced by men, feeling threatened by your partner's sexual activities, real or imagined, past or present. And I have an example for this because I think this is something that like really destroyed my relationship truly at the root, because I couldn't win this argument. I was trying to figure out how to win this argument. And there's no way. My partner would be obsessed with what could happen in the future. He was like, well, you're bi and you want all these things. So in 10 years, if we're married, what if all of a sudden you wake up and you decide you want to be with a woman like long term, or you want a different thing than what has been happening for the last 10 years? And what am I supposed to say? I'm like, I mean, yeah, that's a possibility in 10 years. I don't fucking know.
It's a possibility for me to drop dead, too.
It's exactly that's exactly my point. And that's what we would get into serious arguments because that was my fucking point. What am I supposed to do about that? I can't control what happens in the future. I can't control how you think things are going to happen in the future. For all I know, you could meet a person in 10 years that makes you rethink everything. Why does it all rest on me? Why is that something that I have to process now? I have to make a decision now about whether I want
something in 10 years.
Yes, and that was such a big pillar.
It's giving Bella and Jacob. Like, you want me to leave my happy, loving relationship for the possibility of you imprinting on some random bitch, and now I'm lonely. Okay.
What that got to do with me?
What that got to do with me?
Yeah. Anyway, that's sexual jealousy felt mostly by men, and I'm gonna like go in a little bit more detail about that.
Okay.
Emotional jealousy, though, or attachment jealousy, mostly is experienced by women, and that's when a person gets insecure over their partner's emotional intimacy with others, including family members, friends, coworkers, etc. All this can cause people to feel inadequate because they believe that other person's attention should only belong to them.
Ooh, that's actually the one I've been like really struggling with.
Emotional jealousy?
Yeah,
okay,
like
bitch.
a lot. Yeah.
Okay. And
that, I think that is where most of my jealousy comes from, is it's that, and then like I have this thing that I'm really processing through. I have a fear of being replaced, like not abandoned. I mean, there's that somewhere in there,
Yeah. I mean, it all stems from,
because hello,
like,
my mother, you know,
Yeah.
but like it definitely is like the fear of being replaced. Like, you know, I don't know. It's like one of my friends, like, it's like, I know how we met and I know how our relationship has went. And then I'm like, okay, well, what if you meet someone else and that's basically the same trajectory that your relationship goes? And then where does that leave me? And that is also an anxiety thing because I'm overthinking it. And it's like, of course that could happen, but who says that that's going to happen? So the logic in me is like, bitch, you need to calm down. But like the other side of me is like, I literally can't because I have also been replaced like so many times, like in my life growing up as a teenager, even like in my early 20s. So it's something that means a lot to me. And like the relationships and connections that I have now, I have been so intentional with like making them and building them and maintaining them that it is like, so it's such a deeply rooted fear now. Like the closer I get to someone, the bigger that fear gets, you know, because I'm like, what am I going to do? Like, what do I do? You know? So that's why I also try so hard to make all my connections work so well. And no matter what, because I don't want to be replaced. I don't want our connection to feel like replaceable. Like, oh, you can just go and recreate this with someone else, you know?
Do you feel like you've done that to somebody else? Like, where does that, I know that obviously the fear comes in from fear of abandonment, but like, have you ever been in like a situation where you replaced one of your friends or you replaced a significant other, and like, so that you can say, this is the route that they took, this is the route that I took to replace this person, so this is the route that my friend is taking to replace me? You know what I mean?
Not intentionally. Like, there's no situation that comes to mind where I replace someone or anything like that.
Do you think it's an irrational fear, or do you think
it is an irrational fear? It is actually really bad. Like, I literally have to talk myself down and out of like certain things. Like, people will tell me things and sometimes my reaction is very like, oh yeah, I totally get it, I'm here for you, whatever. But on the inside, I'm like internally freaking out. But because my freak out isn't anybody's, like, that's no one's thing to deal with, that's my own thing to deal with, that is like one thing that happens to me. So like, for instance, my ex, whenever she met this guy and she was gonna go like hang out with him, and like their intent was like literally to meet up, go get some food, hang out, fuck, whatever, you know. And I was super excited for her. Like, I literally was like, let me know if you need anything, if you need me to pick you up, like, let me know, like, whatever. Like, I was super, super supportive. But like on the inside, I literally was like, okay, well, what if this person is just so great and so moving that like, now it's like, fuck you, bitch, whatever the fuck you have, and whatever the fuck we had going on, you know? And it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. Like, I just had that fear, and it sucks because I don't want that fear, but it comes so, like, it's such a deep thing. Like, I really have to check myself sometimes because I know that's where my jealousy comes from.
It's really interesting to me that you are a polyamorous person, but this kind of is your, that's your, like, your Achilles heel, you know?
It's awful.
So like, how does that work? Because you want to be polyamorous.
Yeah.
But do you want to be polyamorous for you, or do you feel like...
No, I want my partner to be too.
Okay.
Like, I genuinely do.
And
like,
so have
absolutely.
you, I guess have you ever been in a successful polyamorous relationship?
I dated that couple.
Okay.
And the only thing that was wrong with that is that the communication was awful and that they wanted to keep me in the house all the fucking time.
Yeah, that was weird. But it's kind of that you can't really compare that because they had each other. So there's not really much of a feeling of replacement because you're kind of like, not an ad because that's like disrespectful, but like, I feel like there was nothing to be replaced. So you can't really say that like your trigger was triggered in that relationship, or was it? Or was it?
I don't think it was. No, because they also weren't talking to anyone else besides me. Like, they weren't like, so you're right. I wasn't put in a position where that feeling was triggered, but it is really difficult being a non-monogamous and also feeling jealousy and feeling things like that. But me and you had a conversation about this, and like things I do, like when my partner did go out for her dick appointment, and I was really excited for her, and she was gone for like 3 hours, and I was very literally like, low key freaking out because I was like, all these what ifs are going through my brain, you know? And then when she finally texted me and was like, oh my God, it literally was so motherfucking good. Like, she was like telling me all these things. And I really loved that she had a great time. Like, 110% loved that. But during that time, I had to do a lot of self-soothing, like, things to keep me from, like, going crazy because it's like, I want you to do that. And even now, like, even like my partners, and I want them to go and do things. I genuinely do. And I want you to experience all that life and your partners have to give you. It just is like, it is just, it's so deep rooted. And it really just comes from my mother abandoning me.
Mommy issues.
Yeah. So there's that. That's just really where it comes from. And I just like that I know that I can acknowledge that.
Yeah, that's half the battle. Yeah.
Because in moments like that, where I'm like freaking the fuck out, where like one of my long-term friends is like, oh yeah, I'm going to go do this thing with this fam. I'm like, I'm going to kill myself, but it's fine because it's not that serious. It's not that deep. And then when I really think about it, it's like, I'm Lex, and who can replace Lex?
Yeah.
Not a single motherfucking person.
Absolutely, bitch.
It's like, so it's conflicting because I have those thoughts, but I still have these feelings. So it's like,
but it's clear that those thoughts are very natural.
Yeah.
They're instinctual, which is what we talk about, which is what I wanted to talk about as far as like my separation between saying sexual jealousy is mostly felt by men and emotional jealousy is mostly felt by women. So I wrote two things. I think it's socialized, but I also think it's instinctual, like evolutionary kind of shit, because and this is just speaking from a hetero viewpoint for now, that if a woman has sex with another man, it decreases the likelihood that the man will be able to procreate and pass on his genetic material. So like back in the day, like in the caveman era, there was a reason to be jealous because it was like, oh, my bitch is talking to some other nigga. Now I'm not going to be able to have a baby with this bitch for 9 months. That's a fucking problem. My genes think that's a fucking problem.
yeah, we only live till we're 21.
21, like, if even. You literally have like 3 good years to make a baby. It's so crazy.
Better get your dick wet while you can.
Well, you can. And then vice versa. If a man is invested in another woman, and this is again caveman times, if a man is invested in another woman, this leaves less resources for the first child and the wife to get those things.
That's true.
You know, so it's like, okay, now this man has to provide for 6 children and 3 wives instead of 2 children and 1 wife.
That's why all these baby daddies just...
And so I don't want that nigga talking to any other bitch because my kids need to get fed.
Yeah. And
if I don't hustle, my kids won't eat. If my kids don't eat, then mama won't sleep. That's all that shit is. It's evolutionary, bitch.
Wow, not it being in our genes.
But interestingly, the same article actually said that no difference was found in same gendered relationships.
Okay, yeah.
So meaning like if a woman was in a relationship with another woman, emotional jealousy still trumped for them over sexual jealousy, which was interesting.
Yeah.
So in the sense like the situation that you were just saying about how your ex-girlfriend went and did other things with another person and you just didn't know how to feel about that. Do you think it was more like this person is doing all these sexy things with somebody else, or was it like this person is spending time with somebody else that might be more interesting?
Oh my God, it's the second one.
Okay.
It's the second one.
What did you say?
I don't know, because I'm like I said, like you just like it's connecting down to me. Like I'm really glad we were doing this episode because I'm like, I have been feeling these feelings for like, you know, Red, who is
your
around,
current boo?
My current boo, who is always around. And we've been having conversations about it. You know, we're going out this weekend.
Okay.
And I had to ask what the vibe was.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was like, are we going to this as a friend thing?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Are there going to be,
what did
are
they
there going to
say?
be niggas there that you're going to like?
Niggas or like niggas bitches?
Both.
Okay.
I was like, what do I need to be? Because if I need to be prepared to watch you flirt, I need to make new plans. Like, I need to make new plans.
That don't even sound like something that would happen. But what were they saying about it? What was their response?
She was saying that she was like, she was really surprised, one, because she was like, you're jealous. And I was like, I am. And she was like, I'm just so surprised. And I was like, you're amazing. Yeah. And you're so sexy. And I love being around you. And like, it's just seeing to me as someone else coming in to where like, if I want to text you and be like, hey, I'm off early. Can we hang out? Can we cuddle? Can we go watch a movie? Now that's not a possibility because like you have also other time
to split between people.
I don't like that. Like, spend all your time with me. But then I get it. But then it doesn't make sense because then it's like, Lex, well, you're doing all these things with your time. So obviously your partners deserve the same thing, which is what keeps me in check.
Bitch, I get it.
Which is what keeps me in check. Which is what keeps me in my, bitch, you need to calm down. Because it's like, you obviously are also doing all these things. So you can't be doing all these things and expect the people that you're talking to, that you're interested in, to just be like, oh yeah, it's fine. I'm all about you. And that's it. While that's a great, like, thing to think about, I don't want it.
Yeah.
Because then if you're all about me and I'm not all about you, now I'm having to explain and lie to you about what I'm doing with my time. And I don't want to lie to you about what I'm doing with my time.
The anxiety I felt for 2 months, Lex. 2 months. When I tell you I'd be putting on my shoes to go see my new nigga, and this nigga would text me or like ask me where I was or FaceTime me, like my hands were white. Like I wasn't even lying to anybody. I just wasn't being honest about anything. And like, I don't want to ever have to fucking do that shit.
I would just, and if I was out and we were out together, air quotations, Court would send me a text. I'd be like, obviously I got you always, but like,
oh, not this bitch calling me out. Okay, shut the fuck up.
Get this nigga out of here.
Shut the fuck up. Okay.
This nigga's a bozo. Get him out of here anyway.
I didn't expect for you to bring that up.
Oh, I just
you know you got your bitches that you be like, hey bitch, listen.
Courtney, if you call me in the middle of something,
if I text you, I need you to tell me.
Courtney, I don't care. You could have called me at 2 a.m. and I'd be asleep as fuck, and you call me and be like, what was that place we went to? What did you get to eat? Like those TikToks where it's like, we're calling my bitch. I'd be the one lying on the stand. I'm lying.
What you mean, last Tuesday? Oh yeah, girl, let me look at my schedule. Okay, we was here and here and here for how long? I told this bitch, I was like, hey Lex, don't post anything on your regular friends. Don't, because I told you. I told this nigga I was hanging out with you.
And I was like, and the funny part is that I wasn't even outside. I was literally in the house not doing a
But just in
thing.
case, because I don't be knowing your schedule, I was like, sometimes this bitch be going out and she likes to post. And this nigga likes to lurk on me and my friends.
And it's so weird. Like I was telling you, like, throughout your whole relationship, that has been very, like, and it always made me feel weird because I'm like, we don't follow each other, yet you're putting my username in your search engine to come and find me so you can see what me and my other friends are doing.
I think it's funny that you're probably blocked too now. Like when I tell you this nigga took every username I've ever created and blocked. And I don't know this because I've searched him. I haven't. I did. But it wasn't like I switched it. Like it wasn't like, let me find a way.
Yeah.
It was more like, oh, I'm in my Finsta account. Let me just see if this nigga blocked that too. Yes. Yeah. Oh, I'm in the podcast account. Let me see if this nigga blocked that. Yes. Oh, I'm in my band account. The account has not been used in 4 years. Yeah. Yes, I am blocked.
It's okay. Like when I think about it, because listen, the once they block the podcast accounts, I'm like, oh, y'all for real.
Y'all for real.
Y'all man. Y'all for real as hell. You know what I mean?
Y'all that motherfucking serious.
None of that serious.
I think it's like really fucking funny that both of our exes blocked both of us
and all of our friends
because they already know.
Yeah.
And that's cool. I'm good with that. I want everybody to know right now I have absolutely no regrets about anything that occurred.
I second that. Yeah.
Bitch.
It just makes me think of that fucking TikTok where it's like, leave it to a Libra and a Scorpio placement to disrupt everybody's life just so they can be happy and have what they want.
This is really awkward because the pleasure's all ours.
The pleasure is all ours. And listen, you do what you need to get the pleasure. And if that pleasure means you gotta cut niggas off because it's not giving you pleasure anymore, bitch, get them shears out. If you're watching the YouTube, you can see us cutting. Bitch. Yeah.
Bitch.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that today. Okay. Anyway. So now we're going to talk about how to cope with jealousy. Okay. So one, I would suggest you trace it. And I don't suggest anything. I got these from Healthline. I agree with him though. I rubber stamp.
Sure.
Okay, trace it back to its source. That's what you should do first. Whether your jealousy stems from insecurity, fear, past relationship patterns, or traumas, knowing more about the causes of your jealousy can help you figure out how to confront it. So maybe that means you need to work on your self-esteem, process through your past trauma or experiences, and have honest and open conversations with those that you're involved with. Whether you're fucking jealous of the fact that your friend got a new job before you did, bitch, tell them that.
Yeah.
I think I'm working on that too. Instead of like harboring how I feel, because then it's just obvious that I feel some type of way, but nobody knows why.
Yeah.
I'm like, actually, let me tell this bitch.
Oh my God. This is also reminding me of a conversation that you and me had like forever ago where you were like, you just say your feelings. Like, you just say them. Like, you feel them and you just say them. And you were like, I don't say anything. I'll hold it until I explode. And I'm like, but that is why. And I've also been in so many situations where I realized that if I would have just said how I felt, then it would have taken out so much like animosity and all the extra steps and any argument if I would have just been honest about how I was feeling. But go ahead.
No, that's fucking facts. And I've realized that over the last year. Like, with my friends, with like relationships, with my parents, like, it doesn't matter. If you really just say how you feel, 9 times out of 10, the person you're saying it to will respect the fact that you even had the balls to say it.
The fact that you feel like, even that's why whenever even you mention things jokingly to me, I take them very seriously, because even for you to mention it to me in a joke, then it's on your mind enough for you to mention it in a joke where we're not in any kind of setting that warrants it, So I'm taking your joke seriously, and now I'm asking if we need to have a conversation.
Yeah, yeah, and you do. You'd be like,
I'd be like,
Court, you want to talk about this?
Literally, that's the
guys,
last
I don't know if
thing
you're
that
watching on
happened,
fucking YouTube, but this is what this bitch does to me every time. She takes her right fucking hand and she puts it on my shoulder. She's like, you want to talk about it?
I give you an arm
Is
rub.
there something you want to talk about?
You want to talk to me about
Court.
it? That's literally that's literally what happened last time. Except our other friend was there too and was trying to be a mediator.
Okay,
too.
I was like, bitch.
We were talking and they were talking. I was like, wait, you just need to give us a minute because we're going to talk it out. Me and Court are going to talk it out. We're going to figure out where we're at. And you know what? That's exactly what happened.
That's exactly what happened. It's cool. We good.
We good.
We good. So let's trace it back to its source. The next one would be to voice your concerns, which we literally just talked about.
Yeah.
Voice your concerns early. So if you notice energies are shifting with your partner, or you stumble upon some potentially concerning texts, instead of mulling it over and coming up with the worst possible scenario in your fucking head, find a calm and neutral moment to have a conversation with your partner to clear things up. Because the worst they could do is confirm your suspicions. Like, that's the worst. And like, you've already had the suspicions, so you've already seen the worst, you know? So like, you might as well get some clarification, because 9 times out of 10, again, the clarification will clear things up. 9 times out of 10 though. And I've been on that 1 out of 10.
That's also why I've been really open about like my jealous feelings with like, with Red, my new boo, and then like, my more long-term friends with benefits. Like, I really just try to be really open about the fact that I do have jealous feelings and these things make me jealous. And when we are together, I would prefer if like all I need in those moments is a little reassurance. And so I've also just been trying to like make sure that those people know like what things I find reassuring. Like, just give me a little touch, give me a smooch, like just remind me of my place in your life in some way. Yeah. That's it. That's all I need. Yeah. And once you give me that, I'm good. Like, literally sometimes after I hang out with one of my friends and like I'm like feeling some type of way, I don't know, like, or even if I'm feeling that way before and then we hang out afterwards, I'll be like, what was I worried about?
Yeah.
I literally like think that
same thing.
I'd be thinking about like the conversations we have and how comfortable we are and like who this person is and who they present themselves to be to the world and who they present themselves to be to me. And I'm like, what am I fucking worried about? Like, I'm literally worried about nothing.
About nothing. Yeah. It's all up in my head.
Yeah, I'm just tripping.
So at the
take it. I'm up in your mind.
That's like one of my least favorite songs.
That is the least. You know what? When Beyonce pulls up them numbers for Renaissance, I bet you All Up in Your Mind is on the last of the fucking list.
I'd be so fucking pissed because like 50% of the which Renaissance song are you based on your zodiac sign? 50% of them have Scorpio as All Up in Your Mind, and I'm like, I feel like I'm more of America's Got a Problem.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm more like
No, you would probably be Plastic Off the Sofa. For
really.
sure.
You think Scorpio would be Plastic Off the Sofa?
Because here's the thing, because she's literally spending this time talking about what you love to do, what you love to be yourself around me. It's me that got you like it. It's me. It's given Scorpio. I'm sorry.
Giving obsession.
Yeah.
I like that.
Or even Virgo's Groove too.
Virgo's
Groove
Groove
is also,
it's for Virgos.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Okay.
I have such a like rocky feeling for Virgos.
Me too.
You bitches got issues, okay?
Issues.
Very massive ones. So I'm like, I think she called it Virgo's Groove because she's a Virgo. Isn't she a Virgo?
Yeah, she's a Virgo.
It's Beyonce's groove. When I look at
Okay.
that, that's what I think.
Okay,
Beyonce's
okay,
groove.
okay.
But actually, when I think of Virgo's Groove, I think of Taurus.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, me too. Because I like green is like the first color I think when I see that song.
As soon as I hear that song, and then I
yeah.
just think of like in a fancy outfit, just looking good as fuck, like
I
drinking.
wonder what the
hands
science
of-
is behind that. Like
Yeah.
how like when you hear something, you think of these colors and like you're
Yeah.
associated. I don't know. Maybe it's Virgo Earth. I don't know what the fuck it is, but
Yeah.
it's cool. What do you think the Libra is? I think heated. I think it's heated or honey.
Ooh, honey pure. Yeah.
I think pure. Yeah, either pure honey or heated. I think that's Libra.
If I had to pick one for me, I'd probably say Pure. I love that song.
It's pure.
I listen to that song all the time. She
It's
said,
honey.
"Fan me off, I'm hot, 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 bitch." No, that's heated.
That's heated. Yeah.
That is heated.
That
yeah.
is heated. So does it
Which
change your
one-
answer?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
Because I'm just thinking about the. Because if it were heated, it would just be that part, that end part.
Then I haven't actually listened to the
Crystals
album in a while.
I actually was listening to it a few days ago.
Good stuff. Okay. Okay. Yeah. The next way to cope with jealousy is do the wraparound on jealousy. You know the wraparound. Do a little wraparound. Okay.
Strangle it.
And that's change your POV.
Oh, okay.
Your point of view. Take your jealousy as a sign that maybe you want or require something more or different than what you're allowing yourself to have. Like maybe you're interested in the idea of a non-traditional relationship after being envious of a friend's sexual freedom. Like you see your friend out here fucking niggas left and motherfucking right. I'm like pointing, but like that's not the case. I mean, anyway, I'm pointing, but you know. Or maybe you decide to develop a new passion after seeing how amazing your partner became at a new skill that they picked up during quarantine, you know? Like realize that you may not be able to see the full picture on other people's lives. Like we all struggle and have our own set of challenges that we rarely share with the public.
Yeah.
So like practice gratitude.
I'm also social media is a lie.
Yeah.
Just to remember that.
God, yeah.
Because it just reminded me of when we did that charcuterie night and like we were taking a picture and we took like a video or something and then our friend was like, wow, social media is so fake. And then our other friend was like, oh, I thought that was really genuine. And she was like, oh.
was that for your birthday when we were outside? Was that with like Tess and Kate and stuff?
No, that was at Carol.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because this nigga was like, wait, I need you guys to redo everything. Like, we sang a song or something. I don't know if it was somebody's birthday or
I
what.
feel like it was somebody's birthday.
It had to be somebody's birthday. But we were singing it. He's like, no, you got to redo that shit from the top because I got to get it for the socials.
So we did it again. And then afterwards, the room was like pin silence.
Yeah, we were like, okay, well, the fun was taken out of it after the third time. So, yeah, like social media is fake as fuck.
Yeah.
So any jealousy that you feel towards your peers, that is a big one for me. I think my biggest jealousy problem is jealousy of strangers or jealousy of success of others because I'm like, ugh, that person's 26 too, and they're also a black girl that does this, and look how far they've gotten. Yeah. Look how amazing they are. Look how great, like locally, look how much they've grown, and I'm not doing that.
But also even think about like wow, I'm just having a moment. Even thinking about like Evelyn Hugo and like how they completely changed that bitch and changed her origin story, changed who she was, changed her look
the bill.
to fit what the public wanted, which is what I think about social media. I also just like, I had this argument with my ex once when we were talking about like how I was talking about my jealousy and everything. And even like towards our breakup, we had a conversation and she was like, you just seem like you're doing fine on Twitter. You're just whatever. You're just doing whatever. And I'm like, because on Twitter, I go on Twitter to say funny things, to make a little jokey joke. Yeah. Sometimes I'll say a sad tweet. My close friends on Twitter, horny, sad, emotional. That's all the tweets you're going to get in there. Like, that's literally it. But, I don't know. It's like, you can't. It's
not a full picture.
It's not a full picture, especially because like social media isn't a diary. And for some people it is a diary, but like to take what social media is saying and then like just thinking that verbatim that is exactly what everything is just because of what you see online, that's how you piss yourself off. That's how you get yourself in these entanglements and these like, oh my God, what do I do? They're doing this, I'm doing this, because like it's just it's really easy to get caught up in the lights and the glam of everything.
And I'm not somebody that's motivated by jealousy.
Yeah.
I'm somebody that's stagnant in jealousy.
Yeah.
So like if I see somebody doing something I want to do, instead of me being like, oh fuck, I need to work harder to get to where that person is. Instead I'm like,
now I feel
what
bad.
the fuck is the point of even trying? Because I'm not where that person is.
But a good thing to remember, like I would tell my ex a lot because she would compare herself to another local artist like a lot.
Yeah.
And I would just be like, you just have to remember, like, you're sitting here telling me about her story and you're telling me about the connections that she has, about the people that produce all these big people's music. Like, you have to think about whenever you get jealous of other people, you have to think about it as paths. And like, everyone was on different paths. You had a different parent. You had a different grandma. You grew up in different neighborhoods. And even if you grew up in the same neighborhood, in the same area, you still both are different people who made different choices and everything like that. So it's pointless to be upset with yourself or the other person for where they are, because like you could easily get there, one, and two, you're both two different people. You're going parallel to each other. Yeah. You're not going in the same lane. Yeah. And like trying to push yourself into the same lane or being upset with yourself because you're not in the same lane is where a lot of that envy and jealousy of others comes from. I know one of my friends has said that she really struggles with like being envious of others. Yeah. Because it'll fucking
rip you apart. Especially if all your friends are bad bitches like mine.
Courtney says that, and she's such a bad bitch. And like, you know, and it's so funny that you say that right now, because earlier when you were talking, I don't know what you said. You said something earlier that was so intellectual, and I literally was thinking like, wow, that's what a college education gets you. I should have got one of those. Something like
was that. Was it when I used the word compersion?
No.
Oh.
I didn't know what that word meant though, but
that's surprising because you're a poly bitch.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Okay.
I always joke that I'm just a bimbo because I feel like I am. Bimbo. Yeah, I'm just hot and sexy, and I bring the vibes. And that's
big
really
titties,
weird.
Big butt too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, just so you know, because I was going to talk about it later, but we can just talk about it now.
Okay.
Compersion is the opposite of jealousy. It means like the unwavering happiness for somebody else. But the specific way I want to use it is in polyamory, because that's when the word is used the most. Mm-hmm. Meaning like once you reach the state of compersion, they've saved that you reach like your highest level of polyamory, which is where you're excited for your partner to go out on dates with other people. You're excited for them to come back and listen to them tell you all about that date, and like, okay, so then you have a level of compersion right now. Yeah. Maybe you're just processing through the extra like thin layer of a fear of abandonment or fear of replacement.
Yeah, I'm like, damn, they taking you where? Oh shit, bitch. I hope you order a fat ass steak.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm literally so excited for my friends. Like,
no, your friends.
I mean, sorry,
your partners.
My partners. Because
I mean, it can be your friends too. That's
But like, even when you're telling me about like things that you're doing and like things you're going, I'm like literally so excited for you. I'm like, oh yeah, I can't wait, literally, to hear how much fun you had. Also, can't wait for us to make a plan to go there. Like, you know, those are thoughts that are the majority of my thought. it's the other thoughts, like that being the majority of my thought is what makes it, like when you're like, I love that you don't make your jealousy other people's problem. It's literally those thoughts that prevents me from making it someone else's problem, because it's not your problem that I'm jealous, but it's my job to tell you if I feel like I need reassurance because of how I'm feeling.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I mentioned the positives of jealousy. Oh my God. Hold on. Before I get there. No. I mean, just one of my last thoughts for how to cope with jealousy is therapy, but that only applies if you're fucking crazy, okay? So if you feel like your jealousy is
smashing up windows and shit.
Yeah, like if you feel like
people's jobs and shit.
If you feel like your jealousy is like influencing your professional, your your romantic, and your social life, then like sure, I think you should seek therapy. Yeah. You don't want to become like a single white female vibe where you're just you become obsessed and you become murderous and you become violent.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want that for my listeners. I don't want you guys to be violent. I don't want you guys to be serial killers.
Yeah, because you know, them gay bitches be doing it too.
Yo.
Yeah, that's why I be like, y'all better be careful with them studs, because them niggas be even more crazy than niggas.
Have you seen Swarm?
I haven't yet.
We'll talk about it after, because I don't want to give any spoilers.
Isn't she a crazy femme?
Until the last episode. And then she becomes a crazy stud!
Oh my God.
And I think it's so funny. Okay, I don't want to give any spoilers because I don't want to give any spoilers. So I'm not. So we're going to move on and I'll tell you about it afterwards. Okay. Because it's too close.
Okay.
Like the show just came out like 7 days ago. I have to give them.
Well, I'm just saying studs are fucking crazy. 9 times out of 10, you niggas be crazy.
I think sometimes that Lex internalizes things because.
Like what?
Okay.
Tell me. Tell me about myself.
Because you've never dated a stud, right? Okay.
For a reason.
Hold on. Okay. You've never dated a stud.
Okay.
I'm going to guess that like your friends have dated studs.
And I have been friends with them.
You've been friends with studs, or you've been friends with femmes that have dated studs?
I have been friends with studs. I don't date them because I'm not usually attracted to them. I think they're pretty. Yeah. But I'm not usually like pussy wet for them.
Yeah. I feel like you're somebody that's extremely attracted to femininity and all of its qualities.
So much.
Yeah. Anyway, so Lex doesn't give a fuck about studs.
Yeah. That's Courtney be like, Thomas the Train up in this bitch. Choo choo, yeah. And I love that for you.
I'd be like, okay, hold on, this might be my neck of the woods.
Hold
okay,
up, softball team, more like fun time.
I'm into it. Okay. Do you feel like it's because they take on more masculine qualities in order to balance out like the femininity of the relationship? Like, where do you get this crazy statistic from that you pulled out of the air?
I didn't pull it out of the air.
Okay.
I've just witnessed it with my own eyes.
Okay, I want to talk about it. Yeah, what have you witnessed?
It's not a pull it out of the air. Like I literally, it's not high school, like even early 20s, like being friends with studs and seeing like how controlling they are of their partners, like
that's
of
for
who
sure.
they talk to, what they wear, what they do, how long they do it for. Like, even just the whole, like, blowing them up when they're having an argument, and she's literally like, I just need a minute. You're blowing them up. You're popping up at jobs, literally trashing rooms and shit.
Do you think that femmes do that, though?
I feel like, I'm not saying femmes don't do that. I'm not saying they don't, because I know femmes be crazy as hell, too.
As hell.
I think it's just, like, for me, I think it's just, like, I realize that, no, I'm not saying all studs, and there's just like when I talk about niggas and I talk about white people and I talk about any of that other stuff.
It's a generalization.
It's a generalization. I'm just saying, like, it is something, like, a lot of them have a deep-rooted, their toxic masculinity is sometimes even more dangerous.
Yeah, for sure.
Dangerous as a cis heterosexual man's, because they're trying to bring to a relationship masculinity and dominance that they feel like women want and they need. And because they still have these like very obviously feminine feelings, it's conflicting, which turns it into this crazy shit that they have. Because it's like, I feel all these things for you and I don't know what to do with it. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm about to get fucking crazy. Bitch, calm down. Like, take a fucking chill.
I can't wait to have a stud on the show. And we have a few that have asked to be on the show. So, or I don't know if they're self-proclaimed studs. I don't know what people identify as. That's just what I would put them in the category as, and that's not fair. So, but I can't wait until we have one on, because I have questions. And like, I want to, honestly, I want to hear Lex have a conversation with them. I don't give a fuck about what I have to say. I just want to mediate the conversation. I'm a fly on the wall. I want a little discourse on this motherfucking podcast, because me and you, we agree on the same things too much. And so I'm like, we need a little spice.
We need to have it's Aries season. We need to have our favorite Aries on here too.
Okay.
What will we talk about? I don't know.
Right. Okay. Anyway. Okay. So the positives of jealousy, like I said, we talked about earlier. No, we didn't. Okay. Pause. Positives of jealousy. This is the next topic. It helps you identify relationship security issues. It opens the door for conversations about how both partners can improve on communication and reassurance. Jealousy is not always one partner's problem. You may feel devalued or unloved, or simply need more quality time in order to get past that jealousy. Yeah. So when you have the feelings of jealousy, that's why it's good to open up and tell your partner, because it's an opportunity for you guys to create a new normal, like a new foundation of what do both of us need to feel fulfilled in this relationship.
See it as an opportunity to get closer.
Yeah, absolutely. And that means that when your partner approaches you with some jealousy, and I know
you have to be open to hearing it.
Exactly. And I know it depends on how they bring it to you, because obviously if they throw your phone at you and they're like,
what the fuck is this?
Yeah, why do you have 3 bitches in your DMs? That's different than you saying, hey babe, I want to have a conversation about how we've been lately and how I've been feeling, or how have you've not been spending enough time with me, or you've been on your phone a lot.
Making I feel statements is really, really helpful in an argument.
I feel like insert what you feel like. That just really helps. I feel like if you're seeing a certain situation, I feel like the only thing you do on Instagram is scroll and like other bitches' pictures, and you barely even give me any attention, and blah, 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 blah. If that is how you feel, that is an I feel statement, and you should present your partner with a I feel statement and give them an opportunity to be like, well, I also feel, or something like that. But it also takes a certain mental maturity for you to be that way, and also maturity. And ego death. I feel like in relationships you have to be okay with going through multiple ego deaths within that whole time, because your ego is going to be tested, especially in non-monogamy, a lot. Your ego is going to be tested. Other than your relationship with your couple, do you feel like, and I mean more long term, do you feel like you've had a successful polyamorous relationship?
I don't, and here's why I feel like it's a problem, because I think that in the beginning of a relationship, I tell people that I'm non-monogamous, but then I spend so much time with the one person in a very monogamous way, just because I'm trying to get to know them. I want to figure out where they fit in my life. Because I know I want it to be long term, I'm more invested in taking care of it than I am looking elsewhere. But then once I get comfortable and I feel like I know you, and I feel like we're at a good middle ground to continue, then I'm like, okay, well, I feel like we're good. I feel like we both have our boundaries. You know my boundaries. I know yours. I want to let you know now I'm going off to do that kind of thing. So
that makes sense.
Yeah, but I just feel like that has been the problem.
You feel like you have to be polyamorous from the jump, so these bitches really know what to expect.
I guess so, because it just feels like I feel like people, but maybe it's just that thing where you're where we've said people get this preconceived notion of you, and then they realize that that's, even though you've told them from day one that that's not who you are, they still have this notion that this is who you can be for them specifically. But it's babe, I'm still me at the end of the day. So just because I have been monogamous with you for the past 6 months, trying to get to know you and trying to figure out if this is something I want to continue with, also being polyamorous and going through all the motions that comes with it, come on.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm really excited to have some of the conversations we're going to have soon with a more experienced polyamorous person.
People, yeah.
Because I've really recently been like thinking to myself, like, am I even fucking poly? Because like, that's a conversation that comes up with me and my current person, because he's like, oh yeah, I'm really not polyamorous. Like, I don't intend to be. And I know you are. And like, whenever he says like, I know you are, I'm like, I don't know that I am, because I've never been in a successful one. I'm just saying that this is where my mind has been at, and I would like to experience that and figure out if that works for me.
I would like to have a positive experience with it, like long term. I would very much like that.
Yeah.
But like you and me have had conversations with, like, I think the next person I date seriously, where like, and I've had this conversation where I'm like, I have someone in my life. This is my life companion. This is someone who, this is their role in my life. That role never changes. This is just who they are. I don't, like, you're just going to have to be accepting of those things. I think that, like, I do a thing where I not sugarcoat it, but I like tell it in a way where it's like, oh, it just sounds like we're having fun. You know?
I know what you mean.
And it's like, we are having fun, but it's also like, every time I see this person, we're not hooking up. Every time we go and do something, we're not hooking up. Like, it's literally just like having the freedom to act on an impulse if you have it, or to act on a feeling if you have it, or literally just to continue to experience someone as you have, and just having the freedom to do it. But I think I just do it in a way where it's like, which is why I was saying, like, the next time, this is who this person is. This is who they are to me. These are the things we do together. Is that acceptable for you? Yes or no? Are you okay with it? Possibly. It's not like this right now because we're just doing whatever. But if it gets to the point where it's like this, is that going to be an issue for you? And if the answer is yes, it's going to be an issue, then obviously I'm not going forward with it, because I don't want to jeopardize my long term for something that I literally am just now getting into. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That leads actually into our question portion with a question for the girls.
Yes. We love the question for the girls.
Has your partner, or have you or your partner's jealousy ever made you question the strength of your relationship, and how did you move past it? So, in the sense of what you were just talking about, when you brought up the fact that you're poly with your last person, or whoever, just any relationship where you brought that up, how did their jealousy make you question the relationship, or were they just gung-ho with it, or how did that go?
I think, like, my last relationship, they were really, really like, oh yeah, like, I also have been, like, thinking about polyamory a lot of my, like, single life. I really want to see what it's about, like, blah, blah, blah. But I think that their jealousy and their own insecurity over, like, even maybe being replaced, maybe like something very similar to what I feel, about everyone else. I feel like it felt so much like that, but they also were intimidated, and they felt like it was a competition. And it's like, you can't compete when there's no competition. Like, I've already said that this is who this person is. This is who they are. This is their title. This is it. There's no competing with that. Yeah. Because this is already there. Everything else is just like, not like, I don't know how to.
It's in your head.
Yeah, like everything, everything else. There's no competition, because the only competition that is coming is from you. You're creating the competition. Right. I'm chilling. I also always spend all my time with you. I let you know exactly what I'm doing, who I'm doing it with, what we're doing, like all this other stuff. Like, there's some point where it didn't feel like it was me. Because if I'm being honest with you and I'm telling you, like, this is who this person is, but this is what you're hearing, that I don't know how to move past that.
So are you saying that you didn't really get to move past it?
No.
Or was there ever a point where you felt like it was moved past?
No, I just felt like the more time that she had to think about what could happen and what has happened in the past, I think that gave her a lot of room to, like, ruminate and, like, really feed into also her past relationship traumas regarding polyamory and everything like that. So I think it just, like, really, her jealousy really fueled feelings she was already having, which was part of the detriment of our relationship. So
sounds like she needed to trace it back to the source.
She needed to trace it back to the source. I knew the source. but it's not my job to like fix your feelings.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, my answer to that question would be, has your partner's jealousy ever made you question the strength of your relationship? Absolutely, because it's like, it is the most annoying fucking thing to be in a monogamous relationship and still be questioned about your honesty or your feelings for somebody else or what you might want in the future. I think it got in the way of so many things, and I think it came from an insecurity because actually, I'm going to refer to the part where I said that jealousy is not always one partner's problem.
Yeah.
And maybe I needed to do a better job of reassuring that person.
But
that,
they also needed to ask
right.
for that.
That's my point. Like, exactly. Like, you need to ask for it. If you're not happy with how your partner is showing their affection or showing their value for you, then you have to mention that and give them the opportunity to change.
Yeah.
And
also you need to know what it is that is going to reassure you. Do not come to me with the, I feel jealous, I feel this. Well, what, and I'm asking you, in what way can we fix this? In what way can I make you feel more secure? And you say, I don't know. Bitch,
how does
what
that
the
help
fuck
us?
am I supposed to do with that shit?
Yeah, how does that help?
I'm asking you how to fix it, how to be better, and you just keep saying, I don't know. What the fuck am I supposed to do with that?
Absolutely. What the fuck, bitch?
What am I supposed to do with that?
I don't fucking know.
Even just my partner being like, you and her need to figure that shit out. Yo, listen, my ex used to say that shit to me all the fucking time. You and her need to figure that shit out. What needs to be figured out? I'm like, it's really sounding like you're trying to figure out what's going on, because like, and just having someone constantly say to you like, well, there must be something under the surface, or there must be unrequited feelings, or there must be a this, or there must be a that. Like, I don't like when people make me feel unsure of myself because of their own issues.
You're like, bitch, I know what I got going on over
know
here.
what I have
and
going
now
on.
you're making me like second guess what I knew I had going on.
And I'm over here like, bitch, this is like 3-4 years in the making.
Bitch, you just showed up.
It's been 2 years since any of the things you're talking about has been a concern. Like, you really need to, what else do you need from me?
And that goes into the jealousy of like certain relationships or friends. I think we've both had to overcome issues with that in the past and, you know, maybe in the future or the present. But I think what has worked for both of us in sharing with our partners who we are is like telling that kind of from up front.
Yeah.
Instead of them having to like figure it out by themselves or see, oh, Lex and Courtney hang out so much together.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Instead, I'm like, hey, this is a person that is extremely important to me.
Yeah.
And now that we have this, it's more than like just an emotional thing. Now it's a business thing. So now we are forced to hang out with each other. Now we're like, it's just more, there's just more of the connection. So I understand that. But I think it's important to say that up front. That way they're not coming later and being like, what does this mean to you? What is, because it is hard to explain, as we've mentioned on the podcast, but at the same time, if I'm showing you that you're the person I'm pouring into emotionally and romantically and all these other things, what is the issue with me having a friendship with this person or a relationship that might feel closer right now than you and I?
Yeah.
That's always going to be like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
It's really riding till the wheels fall off. So either you getting on the bus or we pushing your ass off. Yeah.
Bitch, again. Okay. Well, you know, we're wrapping it up here. And so I wanted to ask you the last question, which is, what kind of jealousy do you struggle with the most? And what things do you do to get past it?
I definitely struggle with the emotional jealousy the most. It really is my fear of abandonment and being replaced. Like the amount of people I've been close to in my life that have very literally watched the timeline, like as they replace me with someone else, that has been like super triggering for me. And like, I don't know, like that is probably one that I struggle with the most. Like my friends are like, like friends, partners, whatever. Like literally Red met someone on Tinder. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then she was like, it's 2 a.m. Mind you, Red goes to bed at like 10:30, 11 o'clock. Like they do not stay up late. And it's 2 a.m. and she's like, oh, this girl I met on Tinder is coming over. And I was like, okay. And here I am knowing what a 2 a.m. friend is coming over
right,
for.
bitch, I've been the 2 a.m. friend.
Thank you. That's a booty call. So, of course I texted her and I said, I hope you have a great time, whatever. Like, I literally sent her saying, like, because I did want her to have a great time, especially because I know how much she is looking for friendships and more romantic friendships and things like that. And I really want that for her. But on the inside, I literally was like, who the fuck is this bitch? Why the fuck is she coming over at 2 a.m.? You're saying you're tired, you're awake, and you just can't go to sleep. Bitch, it's 2 a.m. and I'm also awake. Like, I'm right here. What the fuck? Like, It was like a whole thing. But then I had to check myself and I had to be like, well, bitch, she's entitled to have her own life. And you guys aren't, even if you guys were together, she's still entitled to have her own life.
As you also actively do.
As I actively do. And that is exactly what I said to myself. I was like, I understand you feel this. It's also just me talking to me as well a lot of the time, where it's like, I understand you feel this way and you have felt these things. And she even said to me, she was like, do you feel some type of way about me having a friend? And I was like, I mean, no. And she was like, if you do feel some type of way, I would want you to tell me. And I was like, I don't feel some type of way. It literally is just, what if you like this person more? What if, like, it's the same thing. Even with you, like, it's the same thing. Like, it's the same thing. Especially, and I even said this the other day, like, especially the more you mean to me, the more and the deeper that fear is. And it just really, really sucks. And it's something that, like, really tears me up, like, a lot, because I want to figure it out. I want to figure out where the feeling comes from and how to process it and how to continue to have these healthy relationships with people where I don't build up any kind of resentment or anything based off their actions. It's just really hard, but it also is just, I'm glad that I'm always as self-aware as I am.
Very self-aware.
Because if I wasn't, then it would be a lot of, like, resentment. And it would be a lot of me not communicating when I need something. Like, and that's, yeah.
So when Red did invite that person over, did they give you an update after they left? Or, like, did you guys, like, what was the end result of that? How did you move past it?
So they sort of they were texting me sort of when they were there, and they did say something like, oh, I don't really think I'll have something sexual with this person, but I have said that to people just to make them feel better. So she said that to me, and I was like, okay.
Bitch, what that mean, bitch? I said that before too.
Look, and then you're over here talking about, oh yeah, we talked for like 2 hours without any pause. I'm like, oh yeah,
that's comforting.
I was losing my mind.
You were supposed to do that with me.
I was losing my mind, but literally all I did for myself was like, what I like to do is replay moments that we have together, like really intimate moments where I'm like, there's no way they could recreate this with someone else. Like, there's just no way. So I try to think about those things. Those like 1 in a million type moments I have with those people, or I even think about things that they have said to me, or even, like I said, how they present themselves to the world, and then who I know them as. Like, that is something that really reassures me as well, because it's like, I can't really do anything about it when these things are true, or even just thinking about our history together. That also, because I'm like, you can't replace history. Like, you can't do that. Yeah. And some connections, you have them so deeply because of history. And there's just no way that someone within like a month to 2 months could replace like years or even more months worth of like connection and experiences and feelings. So I just be trying to talk myself down, and most of the time it works, but about 45% of the time it works.
45.
Shit. And the rest of the time it's literally just me doing self-soothing things to get my mind off the fact that I'm jealous. So I'll put my favorite show on, I'll soak in a hot bath, I might go and make a complex dinner, like something that is going to take up a couple of hours of my time, so that way I'm not ruminating and I'm not checking my phone every 2 seconds, and I'm not like, oh my God, what are they doing? I wonder if they're thinking about me. Like, any of that stuff, like I don't want that. And then if I feel like the feelings are too strong for me to focus and for me to like move past it, then at that point, that's when I ask for reassurance, where I'm like, can we go and do a blah, blah, blah? Or can I come over and we do this? Or how would you feel if we did this? You know, that is usually when I require extra quality time for the reassurance, where I'm like, dude, I literally have been losing my mind all week. Could we just sit on the couch and watch a movie? Like, that's it.
But the fact that you're able to say what you need for reassurance is
like, literally,
priceless.
Can we sit on the couch and can we cuddle on the couch? Can we cuddle? Can we, like, that's it. Like, I literally just need physical touch and quality time to reassure me. That's it. That's it. That's all I need. So if you can give me those things, that's good.
I don't know what kind of jealousy I experience more than one. I would honestly say I experience more jealousy with strangers than I do with my romantic partners. Maybe I have just been, and I don't mean to toot my own horn here, okay? Maybe I have just been in situations where my other partner was just so obsessed that I didn't have to worry about much. But that being said, even when they are, what do they do, Lex? They still cheat.
They still do.
Okay, but we're going to put that off to the side because I've talked about that every episode this year. And so I'm done talking about it.
I don't think that they were actually obsessed with you if that's what they could do to you.
I don't know, bitch. I would say they fucking were, but that's just me and my ego. Yeah. Okay? But I don't know. Like, I don't feel like I experience a lot of jealousy romantically or even like friendship wise of like who my friends are spending time with, because I have a handful of close friends and I can't give equally to everybody all the time. So I understand when one of my close friends has close friends that they need to spend time with. I'm like, that makes sense because I have the same. Yeah. Even like romantic relationships, I just don't have an example of me being super jealous. But I will say that when my partners have friends, like this partner, for instance, they have a lot of girlfriends that they're just like really, they've been friends with for a long time and they're just very connected to. And I'm like, they be trying to show me all these pictures and videos of them. And I'm like, I really don't give a fuck. Yeah. Even after I've already met them, like, and that's what's bad because I've already met some of them. Yeah. So I'm like, I still don't give a fuck. Why are you talking about them? And I be getting an attitude, but I don't really realize at the time why I have an attitude. I'm just like, why are you telling me all this shit that I don't give a fuck about? Yeah. But it's because it's like I'm the one that jokes you out your boxers, and you're telling me this other bitch is joking you out your boxers too. You're showing me videos of them playing with your motherfucking cat, and you know I don't really like cats like that, so I'd be like, like what? I don't know.
Courtney talks to Bean, and she's like okay with meow meow. So when she's like, oh, I'm up under this person's cat, I was like, oh, that's cool.
First of all, I'm not. So I realized that what
I will say, when you told me that, I had to check myself because I was like, oh, even that video I saw, I was like, oh, that's cool.
But I want you to know that both of those times my partner had picked up their cat and plopped them in my lap, and I hate when they do that.
That makes me.
But they do it a lot. They're like, "Here, please hold Bella while I do this," or Bella needs some company. Can you do this? And they know I don't like cats like that. Yeah. So me and Bella be looking at each other like,
see, that makes me feel better because my cats just walk up to Corey and she'll pet Bean, but Meow Meow, she's like, okay,
Meow Meow is a old bitch, and I mean that in the best way.
She's a prissy.
I mean that in the best way. Every time Lex tells me something funny about Meow Meow, I'm like, yeah, that old bitch, because she's just like she's very catty, and she's very like whatever she feels is what she's gonna do. So I don't know how to deal with that. I'm a dog person. Dogs pretty much always feel the same.
Yeah, and Meow Meow is a cat with extreme boundaries.
Yeah, so like sometimes she's like pet me, and then I'll pet her, and then she'll be like, bitch. And I'm like, she'll
turn around and hit you with that.
I'm like, bitch, you told me to pet you, so I don't know what you want me to do.
But Bean is like, pet me until you die, and I'm good.
But Bean is still kind of, he's cautious and he has boundaries. But Bella is she's kind of like a dog where she wants to sit right here. So if you're sitting down, she'll just crawl right here, or she'll jump and she'll just be on you. So I've had to learn how to accept those things, and that's why I feel like, I know Bella's not gonna, even I have picked her up by her neck and I'm like, I move her. So I'm not concerned that she's gonna scratch me or bite me. So I feel comfortable with her. I don't even know how we got on this conversation, but when
I was talking about my jealous feeling and seeing you with this person's cat and being like, this bitch literally pushes my cats off her fucking lap.
I definitely push Bella. I definitely pushed Bella off my fucking lap. I literally saw
that video, and Courtney, I closed my app. I was like, fuck that cat. Fuck whoever's cat that is. Fuck whoever owns that cat. I don't give a fuck about that cat. fuck you and that cat. Bitch, I was like,
Got it.
cool,
Got it.
great. I don't have, cool, great.
I want you to know that me and Bella have an understanding, and like I like that she understands me, but I'm not a cat person.
But I just
every time I'm over there, I'd be like pulling imaginary shit out of my eyes and my mouth because I just feel like cat hair is everywhere.
Yeah.
It's not anybody's cat that's particular. It's just that one cat might be more open to whatever I'm gonna manipulate, and that's all. But I promise you, and anybody that's listening, I'm not a cat fucking person. I don't. Overall, I don't like cats. No, but all of my partners have had cats. So,
and aren't your best ones the ones who have cats?
Sure.
Okay.
And I've just learned how to deal with them. Yeah. I would love for my next partner to have a fucking dog, somebody I can relate to. Anyway.
Whatever.
Okay, this episode has run long.
What the fuck ever? Yeah, the episode's over. It's done.
Is there a problem? Are you feeling a little jealousy? Should I refer to the coping mechanisms that I stated above?
Sure, you do what you need.
Okay.
You do what you need.
Okay. Well, while we deal with this on the back end, y'all, I want to wish you guys a happy spring equinox. I want to wish you a happy astrological new year, because today on the 21st, we are recording this on Tuesday. It will be released in 10 hours, bitch. We are current. Happy fucking new year. Happy fucking Aries season. I don't count the last 3 months. They're a blur. But now is where the shit starts. Now is where you see our manifestations come to fruition. And I want to tell you that I've already seen our manifestations come to fruition.
I've already seen us in Miami. I actually had a dream about us in Miami.
It's happening. It's a done deal. And when I get done with this and I do my new moon rituals, it's a done deal.
The deadline that they will be announcing is May 12th. I looked it up.
Okay.
And I put a reminder in the calendar.
May 12th, bitch.
May 12th, bitch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening on whatever fucking day you're listening to this podcast, but it will be released tomorrow on Wednesday.
We definitely ran y'all over like a bitch, but hey, listen.
Oh no, not an hour and 20 minutes.
An hour and a half, but hey, listen, I'm sure not everything will make it in the episode.
No, it will, because I'm not editing. When I tell you I'm not editing this shit, I'm finding where I do the clap for the first time, and then I'm moving the fuck on, and then I'm going to do my new moon rituals.
Is what we said.
It's what we said, bitch.
And just be okay with that.
Be okay with it.
Yeah, clink.
Clink.
Yeah, bitch.
And with that, we love you. Have a great Wednesday. Have a great week. Bye.
Hush, hush, baby.